Hey guys, what is going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kaigen, up here today, guys. So I thought I'd do a bit of a follow-on from a previous series that I did, which was to stream or not to stream. Well, I talked about individual streaming services, gave you my reviews on them, let you guys know what I think of them, the ups and downs of them. But obviously, today what I want to talk about is the sort of give you my definitive opinion on what I think is the best out of the three big ones. So in my opinion, there are the three major streaming services are Amazon Prime or Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Netflix. Now, obviously, there's a lot of dedicated streaming services out there, like Discovery Plus is dedicated to discover documentaries, and Amazon, Arrow, and dedicated to those sort of things. And I've talked about them in depth, so feel free to check out those videos if you want to see more in-depth reviews and talking about them. But so in my opinion, the three big ones: Amazon, Netflix, and Disney. And which one is the best? Because unlike me, I like to have all the different streaming services because I like to just be able to watch all these different things. But the thing is, I like to call these sort of multi-purpose streaming services because they're not dedicated to a single thing. They're multi-purpose ones. They have everything on there from TV shows and movies. International stuff, top tier stuff, low budget stuff. Documentaries. Everything. So I already talked about. I feel like just give a little brief overview. So the what I sort of gathered with Netflix was Netflix is sort of like the OG, if you will, even though it's not technically the first ever streaming service. I'm sure there probably was a few beforehand. I feel like Netflix has done a lot of stupid things recently. The whole stop sharing passwords. I think Netflix is overpriced in my opinion. They charge $15.99 now for it. Now I'm lucky because I can get Netflix for £8 a month with my Sky Glass, so that's another reason I enjoy the Sky Glass. So I can save myself a bit of money. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I think some of the good things about Netflix is, again, if you pay for that premium, you do get the 4K, and I believe they've also just added Dolby Atmos as well. So Dolby Atmos is now through Netflix. Netflix seems to be doing a really good job of getting a lot of international TV shows on Netflix, especially Korean dramas. A lot of people like those K dramas, and there's a lot of Asian cinema as well on there. I've not really encountered too many problems with Netflix. I still feel like Netflix has a great variety to it. Has some great originals, BoJack Horseman, which I think was the best thing Netflix has ever done. I could be wrong, in terms of animation, BoJack Horseman is my favourite of the, originals animation, I feel like Netflix is still, it's a hard one because the problem is with Netflix is they do charge you on what you want essentially, whereas Disney and Amazon, they don't charge you extra, which is what bothers me about Netflix. Is Netflix, you have to pay more to have more screens, up to 4 screens at once. For if it's $16.99 or whatever, if you can get yourself a deal through your cable service or whatever, that's fine, that's great. But I still think it is stupid when you compare it to Disney and Amazon, that Amazon don't charge you extra to have the 4K stuff that is in 4K, and doesn't have and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I'd say Netflix has more stuff in 4K. I'd say Netflix has more stuff in 4K than Amazon does. There's also some accessibility things. I've noticed Netflix tends to have a lot better subtitles, both the option to watch international stuff, not 9 times out of 10 in the original language, but also if you want it dubbed, you can have it English dubbed, which is not for everyone, but I mean, some people prefer things dubbed. So Netflix, again, maybe you're paying the extra because they've got more of that stuff that's on there and it's costing them more to get this, whereas Amazon is like not everything's in 4K. I only come across a few things on Amazon Prime actually that's in 4K. But I still think Netflix is still a bit, in my opinion, more bang for your buck. But I'd say Netflix probably has more stuff on it than, say, I don't know, it's a tough one because Netflix has lost the rights to a lot of stuff. But I still think there's some good stuff to be had. You know, there are some big hitters on Netflix. You know, Rick and Morty's on Netflix, for example. You know, that's a big one. There's a lot of K-dramas and international movies and TV shows, which again, I think is great because I'm going to be honest with you, I find that international stuff is sometimes much better than what we get in the cinemas here. I mean, look at all this crap we get in the cinema at the moment and the crap that's on TV and on live TV here in the UK. We've got like fucking Geordie Shore and X on the Beach and all of that crap, you know, and I think to myself, oh fucking, what load of crap is this? And then you've got other countries bringing out some awesome dramas and reality shows that are really, really good and, you know, and give you a great story, great characters and make you laugh, make you cry. And then you've got shit on TV here, you know, so don't just judge something if it's from another country. I mean, Squid Game, for example, that's huge, you know. That even though it's technically not a Netflix original, Netflix are the home of Squid Games. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that is huge now. You know that's going to be huge, and you know stuff like that. I mean, Netflix do make a lot of mistakes. They have lost a lot of rights to stuff. One thing I'm really, really surprised at Netflix for is when they got rid of that 70s show, but that 90s show, which is the new exclusive show, which is great. Again, Netflix do some good originals. I'm a bit surprised that I think maybe we might get that 70s show back. I know technically they're from different people, but it's the same. A lot of it is the same cast from what I've seen. I've not watched it yet, but yeah. So that's in my opinion. You know, Netflix is probably the better one if you want variety. I do find the Netflix hub, the interface is much nicer than Amazon. Easier to find stuff. Now moving on to Prime. I think Amazon Prime has one huge thing going for it now, and that is the add-ons, because you can get pretty much 90% of the other streaming services that I talked about, like Full Moon, Arrow, they've got Curazon, Filmzy, BritBox, you know, Paramount Plus, all of these other streaming services, you can just get on your Amazon. So if your TV, for example, or PlayStation or whatever that you're using, I would say TV, and you don't want to have to keep switching between apps, if your TV lets you get Amazon Prime on there, then that's a great way because you can get these other streaming services that you might not be able to download on your device through Amazon. So I think that is a great thing. That's what Amazon's got going for it. The fact that you can expand the library more than what it just is. I mean, there are some big hitters on Amazon. They've got like the Lord of the Rings TV show on there. I'll be honest with you, Amazon does have some good variety as well. There is a lot of international stuff on there. With the accessibility options, I think Amazon is a little bit touch and go because a lot of stuff does have subtitles, but a lot of stuff doesn't have subtitles. You know, like earlier I watched a film on Amazon Downstairs, and it was but the thing is, you got to be careful with some of these add-ons, because the movie I watched earlier was called Gore Gore Girls, and that said it was included with my Shudder subscription, my Arrow subscription, and something else. So just be aware of that when looking at these things. So that's what I think Amazon has going for it, the fact that you can expand the library. And the best part is, now with my Sky Glass, I've got all of the streaming services with the exception of Crunchyroll and my wrestling networks, my wrestling streaming services through my Sky TV now, you know, so BritBox I can get through ITV, even though I could have used it through Amazon as well. BritBox doesn't have the actual standalone app on but I got ITVX back, for example. So you know, I think Amazon Prime has a lot going for it. There are a few things that I think Amazon does sort of, again, some issues. Like I said, I think the user interface for Amazon Prime is a little bit hard to find stuff unless you know what you're looking for. There's no A to Z or anything like that. But for me, the one that I think is probably the best streaming service out of them all, as of today, I have to give it to Disney Plus. And the reason for that is because A, they don't charge you extra for 4K. B, it looks amazing. I mean, they also have IMAX enhanced stuff. Not everything, but the IMAX enhanced stuff looks great as well. And the biggest reason I want to go with Amazon Disney is because of the and the reason I'm going with Disney Plus is because of the fact that they've got the biggest franchises and names behind them. You got to think, I mean, Disney Shoes, when it first launched, a lot of people were very happy, be able to watch all these Disney movies, which is great, those classic Disney animated movies, as well as, those classic old Disney movies and that. Say what you want about Disney, it's huge. They also have National Geographic as well, so there's your documentary side of things as well. And they do have a fair share of documentaries as well, if you're into that sort of stuff. But you got to think they own Star Wars, so the Star Wars side of thing is huge. Star Wars, just to have that name attached to your streaming service, not only to be able to watch all 9 Star Wars films, and well, I know there's 11, but you know what I mean. We don't really class Solo. I didn't hate Solo, but I don't know. Anyway, but the fact that they have Marvel, Star Wars, they're doing all of these great Marvel shows, great Star Wars shows, but also the fact that they have Fox behind them, Star. I mean, you've got huge names on here. You've got things like NCIS on here, which Blue Bloods and things like that. Is Blue Bloods? The Walking Dead, for example, and of course the big ones, Family Guy, The Simpsons, Futurama. I think the adult animation section is best on Disney. I mean, don't get me wrong, Netflix has some good exclusive adult animations, but I'm talking long series, binge-worthy series. I mean, I think Disney has probably the best selection when it comes to, just the longevity of things. The fact that they have so many, big brands behind them. And that's why I think Disney Plus is probably my favourite of the big 3 streaming services. I do use all 3. Now, not to say that Disney Plus isn't without its faults. It doesn't have a great horror section. It has improved, but I'd say the best one for the horror section is probably Amazon Prime, because you can extend it with Shudder and Arrow and Full Moon and all of that. So, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think Disney Plus is my favourite of the big 3. As of today, I use it all the time. I've been watching The Simpsons. I'm on season 19 now. It just, the longevity, the fact that they've got series like How I Met Your Mother, Malcolm in the Middle. They've got sitcoms, they've got animated stuff, you've got animated movies, you've got kids movies, you've got adult movies. Yes, there are some sections that maybe Netflix and Amazon Prime might have more of, but for the average viewer, I think Disney Plus is the best one. I think Disney Plus is the same price as Amazon Prime. I think it's $8.99 or $7.99 a month. So it's really down to what you want. But I mean, for me personally, from the big 3, I have to give it to Disney Plus. I think Disney Plus is the best streaming service at the moment, in terms of the big ones. Now, that's not to say that I don't use the other streaming services. I do. Each one has their own merits and demerits. If you want to see my in-depth reviews, please check out my series that I did to stream or not to stream. I do need to put it into a playlist to make it easier to access, but I just thought I'd end it with this finalization of my favorite of the big ones. like I said, you know, there's some new ones come out, like ITVX, I think is a great one now, and I actually did say that I had an issue with it where it wouldn't load the next episode, or if it did load the next episode, the subtitles wouldn't work. But that works. That's been fixed. It works on my Sky, no problem. Maybe it's the Amazon Prime version, the Fire Stick version. It works fine. You know, so I'm still able to use that. I think ITVX is a great new revamp, and they've done a great job with that one. And the fact that you get BritBox included with ITVX is huge. You know, and like I said, Full Moon, Shudder, Arrow. Oh, and the only other one that isn't on Sky is Troma. So if I want to watch anything on Troma now, I have to use my Fire Stick. You know, of course, the best anime service, of course, is Crunchyroll, because Funimation actually joined up with Crunchyroll, or Crunchyroll brought out Funimation. So Crunchyroll is, in my opinion, the best anime streaming service, at least subscription version as well. And they look great. I watched Dragon Ball Super on there the other day, and it looked amazing. You know, so again, Wrestling Network, you know, WWE is great. I love using WWE Network. The Impact Plus is finally working now, which is great. So, but all in all, I just wanted to do this video and let you guys know the one that I think is winning the streaming war as of today is Disney Plus. And because of the big brands behind it, and because it's got so much on there, you know, yes, there are some things that are lacking, but they're nothing that's going to make you not subscribe to Disney Plus. I mean, if you're a horror enthusiast, subscribing to Disney Plus probably isn't your best bet. You know, there are better horror services out there. But I digress. If you enjoyed this little finalization, feel free to leave a like, and of course let me know your favourite streaming service. Which is your favourite of the big ones? Which one do you use? Which one don't you use? Which one would you like to see? I just want to sort of put a note out there. Why is there not a streaming service just for game shows? I think I'd definitely pay for that. Imagine that. A game show streaming service that takes game shows from all over the world, past, present, I say future, you know, past and present ones, you know, British ones, American ones, you know, Price is Right, the British version, the American ones, other countries, you know. I know it would be a nightmare with, like, licensing issues, but come on, that would be awesome, right? But anyway, guys, I digress. As always, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to try and do some videos this week. I've got a couple of videos in mind. I spent this morning putting some stuff up for sale. I went through this entire bookcase, this one, and I've moved all of the things up, and that bottom part of down there is almost stuff that's up for sale at the moment. Put a few bundles up on eBay. I have sold a couple of things, which is great. I've got a few things I need to do this week, so I'm going to be busy tomorrow, so there probably won't be a video tomorrow. I'm going to be out and about tomorrow doing some stuff. I've got some things to sort out, and that, so, but yeah. And as always, tonight I'm going to watch some more Metal Jesus tonight. I'm trying to catch up with some YouTubers that I watch, so I'm trying to catch up with Metal Jesus. I've been doing a lot of colouring as well on my phone, really enjoying it. Doing a bit of colouring on my phone. I enjoy the colouring apps. I played some Sleeping Dogs last night. I'm probably going to play some more tonight, in the week probably. But anyway, guys, if you, as always, subscribe if you haven't already, and join me on Twitter and Instagram at the Mad Tiger, and have a nice day. Take care, and bye-bye.